Hello guys, it's your boy Divine, and I welcome you to another episode of how to start your free VPS server and then host your first live application. And so in this video we'll be diving deep into the concept of Nginx, the basics. We'll have a look at how Nginx renders static web pages as well as the web application that we are going to host on the server. So we would have a look at the basic configuration. So in the previous video we were able to set up our free domain name on no IP, and then we linked it with the IP address of the server, and we were able to access the default Nginx page using the URL for the domain we registered. So for this video I'll open two instances of the server using SSH. We want to place them side by side so we can compare the way things work. So like any other service running on a Linux server, we can find the Nginx configuration in cd/etc. We'll find it in /etc/Nginx. Okay, so let's list the contents, and then we have a lot of directories and files here, but then we are most concerned about the sites enabled and then sites available directories. And in sites available, this is the directory that stores the specific files that are connected or that have the setup for the static web pages or applications that are being hosted on the server. So let's enter sites available. Okay, let's see the content of sites available. We have a default. Okay, we have default. Then the second directory we also want to pay attention to is the sites enabled, and this is the directory that has a hyperlink pointing to the sites available. So for instance, if you have 5 applications hosted on the server, or you have 5 websites hosted on the server, for each of them to be live, you need to link it. You need to create a symbolic link in sites enabled and then point it to the particular file in sites available that has that application or static size setup. I know this might be quite a lot for you to process right now, but then let's get right into it so that you see what I'm talking about. So I'll open sites enabled over here. So I'll cd/etc/Nginx/sites-enabled and ls. Let me list it. Okay, so over here you can see that we have the same file here. Over here we have default, and over here we have default, but from the look of things you can see this default is a link, not a file, and this default is in sites enabled. okay, is a link in site enabled. That is, it's a symbolic link that is pointing to the default file in sites available. And so whatever settings you have here, for the site to go live, you have to put a link in sites enabled that is pointing to that default, or that the file you created in sites available. That's the only way to get the site to be live. So let's see the content of each of them. We'll use Nano text editor. Let's do the same here too. Oh, I guess I made it. I have a typo here. Nano, not now. Nano, yeah. Okay. Then over here too. Okay, so if you take a close look, you see that the content is the same. Okay, so as I said earlier, whatever is in sites enabled is not the real file. It's a symbolic link that is pointing to the real file that is sitting in sites available. So you can see that basically when you open the files in sites enabled, you see the same things as in the sites enabled. So this default has the same content because it's not an actual file, but a link that is pointing to sites enabled. Okay, so let me scroll down in the main file. It looks pretty much the same. Okay, so you can see that Nginx is listening on port 80. The same, this is the main file. Yes, you can see the same thing. It's listening on port 80. Then it is trying to find the files that is being served in this setup. The whatever file, the HTML or whatever that is being served in this project, is trying to find it in the var/www/html directory. The same applies to this. The symbolic link is the same thing happening here. So when it gets to this directory, it looks out for these file names. It first looks out for index. If it doesn't find it, it looks out for index.html or index.htm or index.nginxdebian.html. And for every fresh installation of Nginx creates this particular file and puts it in the HTML directory. Okay, so that is how come when we were done connecting our domain name, we were done linking it to the IP address, and we open example app.ddns.net in our previous video, we were able to access this welcome to Nginx page. Okay, so this page, this is happening because that page, this page is sitting in one of these files in this directory. It's sitting in one of these files, either index.html or index.nginx. It's sitting in one of these in this directory. So then what else? The server name and then the location. Okay, so it's trying to define the protocol that should be used to access this file, and it's using the URI. And if he tries to access these files using URI and it doesn't find it, it serves a 404. Okay, so let me close this and then head to the directory. First I'll cd back to root, clear my screen, then I'll say I'll cd to /var/. This slash www slash www html. Okay, so this is a directory. Then let me list the contents. Okay, so yes, as I said, you can see that there is a file called index.nginxdebian.html, and it matches this particular file name. It matches this particular file name. That is how come that page is being saved. Let's look at the contents of this file. So sudo nano. Yes, so over here you can see an H1 that says welcome to Nginx. When you come here, you can see an H1 that says welcome to Nginx. Then we can say, if you can see this text, if you see this page, the Nginx web server is successfully installed and working. When you come here, you can see the same text over here. Okay, yeah, you can see the same text. So now I want us to try something fun. Okay, I think this page is great, but it looks a bit boring. For us to be able to really understand what is going on, we need to practice more, and I want us to stop rendering this file and render our custom HTML file that we are going to build. So let's get right into that. I'll close this. Let me clear. Okay, so over here I have an HTML page that I built. If I open it, this is what you see. You know, this welcome to Nginx, this is what will appear when your applications hosted on the server are down. Okay, so for instance, if you host an application, like in the case of this series, we are hosting a live Laravel application. In case the application is down and then you try accessing this example.ddns.net, you see this welcome to Nginx page instead of seeing the default welcome page for our application that we are going to host. And so we want to do something fun like this, so that they don't see this welcome page. They'll see work will be back soon. Our server is currently down for maintenance. You can customize it based on your preference, but then I want us to stop showing this. And so let's go get right into that. Let me open the HTML code for that page. So we'll copy it. And then head to the server. Then let's create a new HTML file. We want it to be one of the names here, so let's choose index.html. So, but as you can see, we only have this file here, the index.nginx.debian. So let's create the index.html. We'll say touch index.html. Which doesn't allow us because you are not using sudo. So let's use sudo touch index.html. Then let's paste the HTML code in that file. Okay, let's paste it here. So release this. You see two files, index.html and then this other one. Okay, but then our server is still configured to point to this index.nginx.datem. okay, I want us to take this out. Let me see. First of all, I'll comment this. I'll comment it, and then we'll see what happens on the server. Okay, when we comment this, we save, and then we restart Nginx. Now when we go back to the server and then we refresh, yeah, this is what we have now. So as you can see, this is on my local, but then this is on the app. This is the app that this is the URL we created on UIP. You get it? So we just removed the default, and then we decided to put ours there, and it works just as well. So we just went through the basics of deploying a static website on the server using Nginx. And so in the subsequent videos, we would have a look at how to set up a live project. And in this series, we'll be looking at setting up a live Laravel project that I built some time back. We'll set it up, and then we'll set up the file in sites available, create a symbolic link in the sites enabled, and then make sure our project can be rendered when this URL examplelab.ddns.net is entered. So stay tuned, like this video, leave a comment, and don't forget to share. Bye bye.